Hello my friends. Welcome back to another cooking video. At the current moment, I am absolutely starving, and honestly, all I want right now is just like a big fat bowl of noodles. And so, you know, when you get into those moods where you're just like, I just need something that is comforting, that's creamy, that's delicious, that is going to fill me up, that's gonna kind of hit the spot. But oh wait, I'm also still trying to be healthy. Oh wait, I'm still trying to get my protein in. So yeah, we can't have a cheat day every single day of our lives. And while I completely am all for having a treat meal every now and then, maybe once a week, etc., this is for those moments where you're feeling a little bit weak and you can't really commit to having a salad and you really want something that's going to hit the spot without breaking your macro bank, then this one's for you. I am going to bring you today 3 different noodle or pasta recipes that are comforting, that are satiating, but yet they're still full of veggies, which means plenty of fiber and plenty of vitamins and nutrients, as well as being very high in protein and slightly lower in carb. So stay tuned, everybody. Let's get ready to cook. I don't really know about you guys, but there's something about like a big bowl of curry noodle soup. We used to live really close to this Vietnamese place that did literally the best pho and laksa. Genuinely, it was just so comforting, super fragrant, full of flavor. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been craving today. So we're gonna start off by making a curry noodle soup. to recipe number 2. Essentially, what we're gonna make is kind of like a pumped up, high protein, high fiber, super packed with hidden veggies, mac and cheese. So coming from America, mac and cheese is basically like my ultimate comfort food. It is notoriously known for being absolutely devoid of any kind of nutritional information. So we're gonna change that today in this recipe. I have actually mentioned before in a couple of my previous videos that I used to be vegan for like 10 years. And so whilst I have moved on from those vegan years, I tend to look fondly back on what I learned, because the truth is that what those 10 years taught me was how to utilize veggies in unusual ways and basically get as much fiber and nutrients as you possibly can into any given dish. So today, for the cheese sauce, we are going to be kind of recreating and de-veganizing one of my favorite vegan mac and cheese recipes, which starts off with a base of carrots, potatoes, pumpkin, and cashews. And we are going to take what was originally a vegan recipe and de-veganize it and adding in a crap ton of cottage cheese, because the original recipe calls for using nutritional yeast, which I absolutely adore. However, it is quite expensive, and my aim with today's video is to try and make it as budget friendly as possible. So we are going to be incorporating that creamy, cheesy flavor and texture by using cottage cheese, because also bonus is very, very low in fat and very, very high in protein. And I'm thinking kind of like a mac and cheese bake situation. So we're gonna cook all the things, mix it all up, shove it in the oven, and she's good to go. It's been about 10 minutes, and now I'm gonna add in the cashews, because these only need to boil for another 5 minutes. And you can definitely soak the cashews overnight, but honestly, sometimes you just don't have the mental fortitude to think about the next day and what you're gonna eat. I'm gonna actually use a measuring cup for the first time. We're gonna basically add in half a cup of cashews. You can add more, you can add less. It's really up to you how creamy you want it. What the cashews do is add a bit of like depth and creaminess, and it's so good. So this next step is very, very important if you want the maximum amount of flavor. Today, my friends, we're using crispy chili oil. I almost forgot to add the salt. All right, we're using another beloved ingredient of mine, which is turkey mince. It is cheaper than beef mince here in Australia. I don't actually know if that's the case where you are, but I personally love turkey mince simply because, number one, it kind of reminds me of America. And number two, it is very, very high in protein. It's a very lean meat as well. And so it's just, it's good. I'm gonna be using that. You can definitely use beef mince in this as well if you'd like. today we are gonna be using dinosaur pasta. I don't know why. It's just because honestly, it was on sale, so why not? It's exposing the inner child in all of us. Don't take food so seriously.
Set a timer for 7 minutes.
While we're waiting for our pasta to cook, we are going to be making the topping that is going to go onto it. So essentially, the way I see it, oh my goodness, it's boiling over. You have two options. You can either mix the pasta in with this, pour the sauce over, and that's it, you're done. Or if you have some extra time on your hands, then you can take it up to the next level and bake it in the oven, because baked mac and cheese, in my opinion, is leagues ahead of just normal mac and cheese. We are basically going to be using the rest of that cottage cheese and adding the crispy chili oil. So another little spoonful like this. Again, I really do apologize because I never measure things, and which is kind of a nightmare for me later when I'm trying to type out the recipe for you guys. We're just gonna mix that in. And it looks kind of disgusting, not gonna lie. Just ignore that. Again, it depends on how fancy you want to be, because the recipe is good as it is, but I am going to be adding in some spring onions. All right, half we're gonna add to our cheese mixture right here. The other half I'm gonna use to for the topping. Beautiful. Okay, I don't know in what world that is a dinosaur, but we're just gonna go with it. Like I said, guys, this is pretty much really insanely good as it is. But again, because I am me, I always like to take things to the next level. So we're just going to pat that down. I think one of my favorite things about this sauce is that it's literally almost guilt-free. Like when you use it, you can use a liberal amount. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more sauce. Because yeah, it's literally just made from vegetables. You could definitely top it with breadcrumbs or mozzarella or a combination of breadcrumbs and Parmesan or something like that. And then we're just gonna sprinkle the rest. Alrighty, now it's time for our last and final recipe, and this is basically kind of more towards a more classic Italian pasta vibe. Although by Italian I mean complete knockoff and not authentic at all, so I really hope I do not offend any Italians out there, but you know, just like a classic fresh tomatoey pasta. Now this to me is something that you could whip up honestly any day of the week. It's super easy, and it's also going to be really high in protein. And again, we're going to be following that hack where we substitute half of the actual pasta portion with fresh vegetables to make it lower in calorie, lower in carb, and higher in fiber and nutrition. So if you have a spiralizer, then that's amazing. However, I also understand that this is a bit of a novelty product, and if you do not have it, then fear not, because I will show you how to actually make pasta from veggies with just a peeler and a knife. Okay, so I know that you guys have all probably heard of zucchini noodles, but have you also heard of carrot noodles? By combining both, you get a nice little variety as well as a punch of color. And all you're gonna need is just a little peeler. Now we're gonna start off with just peeling the carrot. And this is where you can start spiralizing it if you do have a spiralizer. However, if you do not, then you're literally just gonna start shaving the carrot like this. This is not a new technique. I've definitely used this before on my channel. And in order to make sure that the noodles don't get too fat, you wanna rotate your carrot as you peel it so you don't peel too much from one section because there is still technically the core of the carrot. And then you're left with this little thing. And honestly, no vegetable should go wasted. So just snack on it while you're cooking. You're hungry anyways, probably. Now with the zucchini, you essentially want to do the exact same thing. So we're just going to take off that outer layer first. And I find it's a bit easier to peel it when you're resting it on the cutting board. Like I said before, carrots and zucchinis have a semi-core. So once you get to that bit where it's all seeds, chop it into really fine bits. And you're gonna add it to the chicken and tomatoes. Alright, so this is what they're looking like at the moment. Now we're just going to start pushing down on those tomatoes to release all the juices. And at this point, I'm just gonna add in a bunch of black pepper, turn off the heat, and it's pretty much done. And now we're just gonna set that aside. So now we're gonna add in cottage cheese, and this is what's gonna give it that creamy texture. Pretty sure at this point you already know that cottage cheese is my favorite ingredient. Now we're literally gonna start mixing it quite furiously. I'm gonna add in a touch more salt. So you could definitely top it with just like dried Italian herbs if you wish. However, I always find that fresh herbs work best with pasta. And I've just got a bunch of basil that's kind of going off at the moment. And to really maximize the flavor and just like give a punch of freshness, I'm just gonna add in a big dash of lemon juice, as well as some chili flakes. And just round it off with some more black pepper. And look at that. That is honestly incredible. Gonna give it a little bit of a taste test. Now this does serve 4, and don't worry, I'm not feeding this to other people. This is just for my husband and I. You guys. When you combine lemon juice with garlic and tomato and chili flakes, like you really just can't go wrong. And this is honestly really, really light, and it's perfect for like just a nice little summery day. You gotta give this one a go.